Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Srimad Sudanam Jai Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Srimad Sudanam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Sita Mata Premanande Hari 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 Bol Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, welcome. So today is Friday. So tomorrow we'll be having our activity of whoever is left with this Narsimadev drum skit. We'll do it tomorrow. So today we will be seeing the portion, 13th verse of Isopanisad, where already we were talking about the destination of now we will be seeing destination of the demigod worshippers and impersonalists and devotees. See, in the previous sloka we saw that we compared two different things. One is the demigod worship and the impersonalist, and the persons who worship for material desire demigods, and their destination is in the dark region. So already this universe itself is dark, so they try to go from Sargaloka or some other planet like this, Siddhaloka. They want to attain Siddhi. You're running from one dark place to another dark place in a dark room. That's all. This material universe is considered like as a dark room. And in you, what is the use of running from one corner of the room to another? Oh, that corner is better. This corner is better. You're already in the dark room. So in this way, but the worst are the people, not even demigod worshippers. They may someday turn into Krishna's devotees, but there are other people who are even more dangerous, the impersonalists, the imposters, the so-called impostor or as religionist. They show as religionist, and they promote impersonal aspect of the Supreme Lord, or they deny the existence of the Supreme Lord indirectly. So in this way, or they claim themselves to be God. In this way, there are so many duplicate the so in the garb of religion. So there is nobody to check. There's no law to check on this bogus people, and they're very very dangerous. It's not dangerous for themselves. They are anyway going to go to the hell, but they are misguiding the mass of population. That is why they are more dangerous. They are misguiding the people over here are supposed to search the original Supreme Personality of Godhead and develop the relationship. But in the so-called name of religion, they capture these people and put them in the idea that God is not approachable. God is not a person. You cannot talk to him. You cannot, is not a personality. So there is zero approach to God. So they close the door to God in the name of religion, in the name of spirituality. Many bogus gurus have come. They have big organizations. They are becoming very very famous among common public by speaking some word jugglery, and in this way they are closing the entire door of the God. Even though Krishna's door is fully open, people are not able to approach because they feel satisfied. Okay, I am already in religious path. That religious leader is guiding me. I have a guru or I have a sadhu. I'm following a saintly person. So I'm in the right track. Like that, the entire life is wasted by not approaching the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they are more dangerous. That path is more dangerous. Followers will also go to hell of that bogus people. Either they can be bogus God or they can be bogus Guru, or in the name of Vedas, they may be impersonalist. That's very dangerous, even compared to worship of demigods through authorized process. So then now if you see the majority earlier was they were worshipping demigods. And at least that can lead them to somewhere, okay, Krishna also side by side they worship, and they don't consider Krishna to be impersonal. But then the impersonalists are more dangerous. So this is what, and the destination is discussed here, where all path doesn't lead to the same destination. This is very famous lecture of Prabhupada. Prabhupada gives these kind of articles also in Back to Godhead, and earlier Sajana Toshani. He has given many articles on these aspects, which cover very essential factors, especially when if you live in India, especially in North India and all, where this, if you go to Kumbh Mela, you can see so many. We went to Kumbh Mela in 2000, year 2000. So that time I saw that how many religious people are there, but zero God. They are all in either Naga Baba, without even dress, they are roaming around. Some are with only cow pins and kamandalu, some are with the orange color dress. So many thousands and thousands they come, because during Kumbh Mela it is said that the Amrita is falling in the river or Triveni Sangam, the water, Amrita is falling, and they want to take bath on that day. So it's also some material desires and yogis and jnanis and varieties. So many. If you see Sankaracharya's Matt and all that, it's all. So the entire India is so confused with all this misguided civilization. Prabhupada calls this misguided civilization. So they are the one who's propagating, saying that, don't worry, don't worry. Somebody says that, Swamiji, I like ISKCON, can I go there? No, all the paths lead to the same. No, they are also worshipping God. We are also God only. You be here only. So in this way, so they totally block the path of approaching or reading. Hmm? They already search for God within you. Why are you searching in the book? I have heard these kind of arguments. My entire Krishna conscious life, I have been a front end preacher, and I've heard these kind of arguments very regularly. We have to search for God within. Within, if you look, there is a garbage bin and nothing else. Lust, greed, envy, and anger is sitting there. And they want to search God within that junkyard. The Acharya is coming and writing a book in which he is openly telling everything straightforward. And when they want material wealth, they want material education, and they will read the books. And when it comes to spirituality, they want to search within. Why can't you search your food within yourself? Why can't you search for a job within yourself? When you want to live for yourself as a body, you want to sense enjoy, all that is coming outside. But only when it comes to God, they want to search inside. Inside, what is there? Inside, all garbage is there. That's all. So, Cheto Darpanam Arjanam Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam. So, this in unsaid garbage cleaning process is this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Okay, so anyway, this is that. Regularly Prabhupada used to write articles, and this is the sloka which is giving evidence that directly in Vedic scriptures Veda Vyasa has written, and it's directly in Upanishad it is found that all the path doesn't lead to the same destination. Very powerful verse, because you will come across, if you are a front end preacher, you'll come across people telling all this stuff, especially in India. Okay, let us see this verse. Please repeat after me. जय गुरु महाराज की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ईशोपनिषद मंत्र 13। अन्यत् एवाहु संभवात्,
अन्यतेव
अन्यदेवादिसम्भवात्
अन्यत् आहुर् असंभवात्,
अन्यत्
असम्भवात्
इति शुश्रूमधीराणाम्
इति
इति शुश्रूमधीराणाम्
येनस्तद् विचचक्षिरे।
येन
येनस्तद्विचक्षिरे।
Translation goes like this. Please repeat. It is said that
It is said that
that
one result is obtained
one
one
result is
result is
obtained
obtained
by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes,
by
by
worshipping
worshipping the supreme
of all
cause of all
causes.
causes,
and that another result is obtained
And
and
that
that another
result is
result is
obtained
obtained
by worshipping what is not supreme.
by
by
worshipping what
worshipping
is
what is
not
not
supreme.
supreme.
All this is heard from
All this is
All
heard
this is
from
heard from
the undisturbed authorities
the
the
undisturbed
undisturbed
authorities
authorities
who clearly explained it.
who
who
clearly
clearly
explained
explained
it.
it.
So it's very important to know Sambhavat and Asambhavat. Sambhavat is Supreme Lord, worshipping the Supreme Lord. Asambhavat is worshipping somebody else other than the Supreme Lord. Like this. So so worshipping only exclusive worship of the Supreme Lord is essential. Exclusive means, I also like Krishna. That also like Krishna, also worship Krishna. No, I worship Krishna. That's it, full stop, no comma. Of course, we worship Tadiyanam Sevanam, anything related directly with the, like Guru, like Prabhupada Arti we are doing, Tulasi Arti we are doing. So, which is directly related with the Supreme Lord in transcendental plane, everything is related with Krishna, which is not related. Everything is related with Krishna. If we see anything unrelated with Krishna, that's an illusion. In Bhagavatam, we have Chatusloki Bhagavatam, in which the primary aspect of the Chatusloki Bhagavatam is Lord is telling Brahma, in everything you see me, and if you don't see me, there is a connection with me. Everything. And if you don't see a connection, that is illusion. So, but there are Tadiyanam Sevanam, means one which are dear to Krishna. We serve, we worship like Radharani and other devotees, gopis. And then we keep them on the altar also along with Krishna. Tadiyanam Sevanam. So, worshipping Tulasi, worshipping Vaishnavas, these are all part of it. But not that you go to that extent, you worship the non-supreme as supreme. So it is said that different results are obtained. So this Sambhavat means worshipping the supreme causes of all causes, that is Supreme Lord. And Asambhavat means which is not supreme, worshipping something which is not supreme. So Dhira, already we saw the definition of Dhira. The authorities, the Acharya Parampara, the Acharya Parampara which is coming down from Krishna, the authoritative people. And they have explained, they have told that two different paths, all the paths doesn't lead to the same. So if you worship the Supreme Lord, you get some result. And if you worship something which is not supreme, you get some other result. Not that all the paths lead to the same destination. Sometimes Mayavadis, which is not mentioned in this purport is a really good, very nice purport, and in which the Mayavadis, they quote one example. If you are in a pond, the pond has some water, and in the pond, if you go to temples and all, you can see the pond has 4 sides steps. And in all the 4 sides, wherever you climb down, you end up with the water. So they give this example saying that, okay, you do yoga also, you jnana also, you do demigod, all God only expanded as demigods. So as you and me also. So even we can worship each other. Even if there is a poor beggar, they call Dardra Narayan. Why Dardra only has to be Narayan? Even Prabhupada asked this question. This Gandhi, he called that Harijan, to whom those who are Chandalas and other tribes and all that, who are not falling under any category of Varnashrama Dharma. Why? Everybody is Harijan. Prabhupada said that everybody is Harijan. Why only that caste, who is out of caste system is only Harijana? So this only why Daridra is Narayana, the wealthy person is not Narayana. So they claim human being to be Narayana. And even the sannyasis in Mayavada school, they address each other as Narayana, Narayana, like this. Narayana, come. Narayana, please sit. Narayana, eat. They say that the spirit soul is Supreme Lord. In this way, worshipping all this human being also, they are ready to worship, not worship original Supreme Lord Krishna. The human body is going to be burnt or buried, whatever. And they are ready to do all that stuff. And even demigods, they're very selfish in their own thing. They have their own designation. And they are just performing the order of the Supreme Lord. They don't have individual capacity. And when Ashura come, they run away. They're so scared. And the people invest their faith and depend on them. Oh, my mother, my father. Like for example, a beggar is coming outside the house and Ma, Amma, give me some food, Ma. Just because he's calling Ma, will he become your son? Are you treating him with the sonly affection and he is treating you with motherly affection? He's calling Mama. Same way only the materialists who are calling Ma, Papa, Ganapati Papa, Mama, like that Durga Kama. So you may consider mother and a beggar, and she knows that you are behind for material benefit. It is like a beggar standing out and saying Mama. That is the same only. By calling a demigod, mother or father or brother or sister or friend or whatever it is, they don't establish a relationship with you because they are very high class beings. And they have their own brother, sister and family and everything. They don't need to adopt a beggar. 10 rupee de do, 10 rupee, 10 rupee beggar. They don't want. Ek taka. Prabhupada said that ek taka beggar. One rupee you have. So even to Krishna we don't ask. Krishna is a multimillionaire. You can't and you want your desire to be fulfilled. And your desire is one ek taka desire. You have very crorepati friend. He will do anything for you. You go and ask, give me 1 rupee. Like that. So in this way, even the demigods cannot give anything on their own. They are taking from the treasury of Krishna, and then they are supposed to distribute based on the punya karma and other stuffs which a human being does. Hmm? So they are not independent, they are dependent. So how that worshipping of the demigods or anybody else will equal to worship of the Supreme Lord? Certainly they are two different things, and they will result in two different destinations. That is what is being explained here very, very beautifully. Prabhupada is one of the most beautiful purports. We can see here. Because we have to be, as a preachers, we after doing Bhakti Shastri, what you will do? Why are you getting Bhakti Shastri? To show off the degree or to get Brahmanical initiation? No, beyond all these things, to spread the Krishna consciousness very nicely, authoritatively, without deviation. The right subject, right has to be conveyed to the public without any confusion. That's very important. So, as a preacher, they get authentic knowledge so that it's powerful. Preaching will be powerful and you'll be able to answer all questions. So we will certainly come across, if you get into preaching to the public, and you will come across these kind of people who are coming out of these philosophies. And it is very, very essential. It is not essential for us to defeat them. Rather, it is essential for us to safeguard the people whom you are preaching. Maybe you're making them chant 1 round, 5 rounds, and these kind of bogus people will come and try to shake their faith. So at that time, it's very important for you to protect the devotees when they are in the tender stage of devotion, when they are nice and this what is that Kanishta Adhikari level, when they are in the lower level, their faith can be easily shaken. So it's very important for us to understand these kind of philosophies properly. And certainly it is not for argument's sake. We are not interested in arguing. We have better work to do. So we are not here to argue with Mayavadis or argue with impersonalists or demigod worshippers. Rather, we are supposed to concentrate on favorable people and then cultivate common public who are regular, normal people, like how we were and we came into Krishna consciousness. Especially when a religious person comes into Krishna consciousness, it's very complicated. It will be very complicated. Whereas an ordinary person, a regular person in the society, a normal man who is leading, that is more simply he'll accept Krishna consciousness very easily. And it's a beautiful culture, and for family and children, they will certainly like all our programs. They will. So this is more easy. But when they have these kind of questions, then we should be able to answer. So Prabhupada is giving all astra. In Bhagavad Gita, we'll get lot of astras. Astra. It's very Shastra. We have this astras. And we have to increase the faith of the people who are dependent on us and they are coming to our Bhakti Vriksha classes or something like that. Then we should be able to answer. That is our aim, not to argue and defeat anybody. And we are not in the Tarkavada platform. If they are not favorable, we just move away from them because they are envious of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so let us read the purport. Somebody read.
The system of hearing from undisturbed authorities is approved in this mantra. Unless one hears from a bona fide acharya who is never disturbed by the changes of the material world, one cannot, one cannot have the real key to transcendental knowledge. The bona fide spiritual master who has also heard the Shruti mantras of Vedic knowledge from his undisturbed acharya never presents anything that is not mentioned in the Vedic literature. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.25, it is clearly said that those who worship the Pitrus or forefathers attain the planets of the forefathers, that the gross materialists who make plans to remain here stay in this world, and that the devotees of the Lord who worship none but Lord Krishna, the supreme cause of all causes, reach him in his spiritual sky. Here is also Here also in Sri Isopanisad, it is verified that one achieves different results by different modes of worship. If we worship the Supreme Lord, we will certainly reach Him in His eternal abode. And if we worship demigods like the Sun God or Moon God, we can reach their respective planets without a doubt. And if we wish to remain on this wretched planet with our planning commissions and our stopgap political adjustments, we can certainly do that also. Nowhere in
Just a second, you be there. So, very important. Here, the system of hearing from undisturbed authorities is approved in the mantra. You should check when you're hearing from somebody, when you accept somebody as spiritual master. Many people ask me, how do I know whom to choose and this and that? Very, very simple. Go to Srila Prabhupada's book, ask Srila Prabhupada. Simple. The system of hearing from undisturbed authority is approved in this mantra. And how do you check somebody is an undisturbed authority, Dhira? Very simple. Check their history. Check how they came to Krishna conscious. Is that with great confusion or what? Unless one hears from a bona fide acharya, check whether they have heard from bona fide acharya, who's never disturbed by the changes of the material world. One cannot have the real transcendental knowledge. So we are very, very lucky. Our Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, has directly, very nicely heard from the bona fide acharya Srila Prabhupada. He has spent enough time hearing. He has spent enough time serving him, taking out his order and fulfilling all the orders from the day he met him till today. And the first day he met, he understood. So a sincere, eternal spiritual master can be identified by a sincere disciple in the first meeting itself. One more example is Srila Prabhupada met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. On the first meeting, Prabhupada knows, okay, if I have Guru, he will be Guru in my life. Same way, Guru Maharaj also, on the first meeting itself, he has taken up and he has served very sincerely from that day till today. So, it's very important to hear from bona fide acharya. So, that is Adav Shraddha. This is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam also. Surrender to spiritual master and serve him. So, the bona fide spiritual master who have heard the Shruti mantras or Vedic knowledge from his undisturbed acharya never presents anything that is not mentioned in the Vedic literatures. No sentimentalism, no bogus things. The same thing. Worship Tulasi and chant Hare Krishna. Same aspect. Oh, okay. Why he is telling something Ajib sa? He has to tell something else, no? Mentally, how you can do this and some new concepts other than Prabhupada has to be brought. No need. A bona fide spiritual master who has also heard the Suruti mantras or Vedic knowledge from his undisturbed acharya never presents anything that is not mentioned in the Vedic literatures. So there is nothing outside the Vedic literature, and Vedic literature is very clearly followed. So this is very, very important to identify where to receive the correct knowledge. We can have the key to the real knowledge. Is possible. Unless you approach the bona fide spiritual master. So luckily we are on the right track. Srila Prabhupada has given us this great opportunity. We should take advantage. And then Bhagavad Gita, there is mentioned, whom you worship, you go there. You worship Pitru, you go to Pitru, you worship. So whichever you worship, you think about it. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram. Whatever you think in this entire lifetime, you are worshipping somebody, you will go to another place. Some Rama, 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 you're chanting and you're reading Ramayana, 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 and always talking about Ramayana pastimes and something. And then, where do you go after you die? No, I will go to Krishna Loka. Why you will go to Krishna Loka? Because your consciousness is fixed on Rama. So, whoever you worship, whichever personality, you worship and you attain him. So, Krishna is telling those who think of me, they'll come to me. So the Lord and the devotees of the Lord who worship none but Krishna, the supreme cause of. And Rama is also expansion of Krishna only. I mean, incarnation of Krishna. There's nothing wrong in doing that. But the destination is certainly different. You will go to that personality, that form of the Supreme Lord. If you worship Mahavishnu, they say that I'll go to Golaka. No, why Mahavishnu is in Vaikuntha, you will go to Vaikuntha. That's all. Very, very simple concept. And if you keep thinking about your child, mother, father, like this, you will go and be born with them. Whoever you are thinking, whoever you are concentrating, whoever you are worshipping means what? Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. So you are hearing about them, you are talking about them, and you are thinking about them, you are worshipping them. So in this way, you are doing so many dasim, you are serving. So all these things you are doing to whom? And your consciousness is filled with whom? And you will go there. So simple. And if you worship demigods like sun god or moon god, we can reach their respective planet without a doubt. So Prabhupada in the previous purport explains how to reach other planets. So he gives three methodologies. The methodology number one is like technology where Sputnik or something is created and trying to go. And the second is uh, by yogic process, siddhi. And the third is by worshipping demigods, and that is the easiest way. So most of them do this. To whichever planet they want to go, they worship that particular demigod, and they go and live there. And if somebody wants to live here only, we can think of the personalities here. You can read newspaper here, and you can be so much absorbed in that. Bharat Mata ki jai, Bharat Mata ki jai, and you die, and then you are born again in Bharat Mata. So in this way, this is the thing. So here, the various paths will not lead to the same destination. Okay, go ahead reading, Disha.
Nowhere in authentic scriptures is it said that one will ultimately reach the same goal by doing anything or worshipping anyone. Such foolish theories are offered by self made spiritual masters who have no connection with the parampara, the bona fide system of disciplic succession. The bona fide spiritual master cannot say that all paths lead to the same goal and that anyone can attain this goal by his own mode of worship of the demigods or of the supreme or whatever. Any common man can very easily understand that a person can reach his destination only when he has purchased a ticket for that destination. A person who has purchased a ticket for Calcutta can reach Calcutta, no, but not Bombay. But the so called spiritual masters say that any and all paths will take one to the supreme goal. Such mundane and compromising offers attract many foolish creatures who become puffed up with their manufactured methods of spiritual realization. The Vedic instructions, however, do not uphold them. Unless one has received knowledge from the bona fide spiritual master who is in the recognized line of disciplic succession, one cannot have the real thing as it is. Krishna tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita 4.2, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshyo vidu sa kalena mahata yogo nishta parantapa. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of reciprocal succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. When Lord Sri Krishna was present on this earth, the Bhakti Yoga principles defined in the Bhagavad Gita had become distorted. Therefore, the Lord had to re-establish this disciplic system, beginning with Arjuna, who was the most confidential friend and devotee of the Lord. The Lord clearly told Arjuna, Bhagavad Gita 4.3, that it was because Arjuna was his devotee and friend that he could understand the principles of the Bhagavad Gita. In other words, only the Lord's devotee and friend can understand the Gita. This also means that only one who follows the path of Arjuna can understand Bhagavad Gita. At the present moment,
Just hold on. So very, very simple. Here, the famous theory, the very famous theory, no, but that theory is totally defied. Nowhere in the authentic scriptures it is said that one will ultimately reach the same goal by doing anything or worshipping anyone. This is say sometimes when we say that some Baba photo somebody has kept, you are worshipping Krishna, I am worshipping Baba. We both are same only. We are worshipping the same only. I have heard this, and you people would have heard also. Same only, you're also worshipping. He's doing dhyana, and we are doing bhakti. What is the difference? Both are in the spiritual path only, no? Mm. So, in this way, this compromising statement that we all are doing the same thing or we will reach the same destination is totally wrong. Nowhere in the scriptures it is said one will ultimately reach the same goal by doing anything or worshipping anyone. The Mayavadi school, especially if you go to this Allahabad, Gaya, Gaya Vishnupad is there, but still they are not basically Vaishnavas. And they have not understood properly. The Gaya, this Allahabad, Varanasi, these kind of area, you can hear these kind of concepts. They say that the all are going to the same destination. If you worship any demigod, it is same. It is so simple to understand. You can clearly ask even the demigod worshippers how all the gods can be same. Oh, Krishna also same. I am worshipping Shiva. You are worshipping Krishna. Both are same only. Why should we fight? No, we should be very peaceful with each other. They think that when we say that no, worshipping of Krishna is not same as worshipping as some Sunny Bhagwan. They say Sunny Ishwara or Surya Bhagwan. They say. So it's not the same. We say, so why we are trying to make a fight here? You're worshipping that God, I'm worshipping. No, I'm respecting your religion. You respect my religion, and we are going to reach the same God. No, like that. Very, very difficult to talk to them. They think that we are talking out of false ego, but we don't know anything. We are simple people. We have read the scriptures properly, and we are trying to present it genuinely and sincerely. But they take it to be our personal agenda because they have their personal agenda, and they propagate based on that, and they think that we are doing the same. That personally I have an agenda to defy his statements. That is the issue. So what? No? You worship, I worship, I respect, you respect. That's it. We are all worshipping the same God only, no? But very, very simple to ask. We can ask them whether the worship of Shiva is equal to worship of Sani or Ragu Kedu. In South India, in every temple there is a Navagraha. Now newly established. Earlier it was not there. They established nine grahas. Surya, Chandra, Sukra, this 9 planets, and Ragu, Kedu, everything. And they keep all 9 in various directions and like that. And they go around and they do puja and all that. So, how can you equate worshipping of Shiva is equal to worshipping of some Naga Devata? Some people worship Naga. Under some tree, they establish some people tree or something, and Naga, the snake god, and then they worship. How can you equate it to worshipping Shiva? Shiva, and naturally they'll say that worship of Shiva is higher when compared to worship of some other tree or Naga Devata or something like that. They themselves know the demigod worships naturally feel Shiva is higher to others. So there is a hierarchy, even amongst demigods, how everybody will reach the same destination. Because some people do black magic. There is mantra also, there is tantra also. So if somebody reads the Tantra Shastra and they start worshipping ghosts and goblins, how it can be equal to worshipping some Parvati or Saraswati? How it can be equal? So this is totally foolish. So such foolish theories are offered by self-made spiritual masters who have no connection with the parampara, or they don't have any authentic parampara. They self-make themselves a spiritual master. And they keep saying that all the paths lead to the same goal. and that anyone can attain the goal by his own mode of worship of demigods or supreme or whatever. Anybody you worship, but the goal is same. That is the most. Any common man very easily understands that a person can reach a destination. This is Prabhupada's very famous quote, that you buy a ticket from Calcutta to Delhi, Calcutta to Bombay. Sorry, you purchase a ticket maybe from Delhi to Calcutta, and you can reach only Calcutta. You won't reach Bombay. Hmm? But the so-called spiritual master says that all the path will lead to the same supreme goal. Such mundane compromising offers attract many foolish creatures. And these foolish creatures are very, very puffed up. They think they know the Veda. Maybe they are born in some Brahminical family or something like that. So that also adds up to their proudness. So unless one has received knowledge from a bona fide spiritual master who is recognized in the line of disciplic succession, one cannot have the real thing. So here Prabhupada mentions about the parampara system, the Vedic instructions. Unless one receives knowledge from bona fide spiritual master. So everywhere the bona fide spiritual master is stressed so much. Because we have to, that is the only place you can really get, like other than Srila Prabhupada, where can you get original knowledge? You can't get, only this parampara we are getting. Otherwise, it's all confusion, complete confusion in the name of religion outside. So this all of you would have come across. Anyway, we will read this, we'll study this properly when we go to Bhagavad Gita also. How only transcendental knowledge can be received only through the disciplic succession. And it is given to Raja Rishi. But in time courses, why it is given to Raja Rishis? Raja, who is a Rishi. Like Yudhishthira and all, Raja, but he is a Rishi. Is not attached. There are very great personalities like, what is his name? Janaka Maharaj and all. They are Pakka Rajarishis. And why they are given? Because when the king, last verse we saw that there must be a law. Prabhupada is telling there must be a law to punish the people who are spreading bogus God, bogus philosophy, to punish them under the law. Should be there. So nowadays, unless the man is of loose character, or he is doing something illegal, he is accumulating money without paying income tax, then only government interferes. But the government doesn't interfere when the philosophy is deviated. Because the government doesn't know the philosophy, there is no God, no Raja Rishi. So when there is Raja Rishi, they will check all this bogusness doesn't penetrate into the system. Already we saw during the Vedanta Sutra, I told you about the Baladev Vidya Bhushana. So in the Rajasthan king, when he was told that Gaudiya Vaishnavism is unauthorized because there is no Vedanta Sutra, so that the king tried to take steps and he sent message to Vrindavan to come and prove their point. So in this way, Baladev Vidya Bhushan presented the Govinda Bhashya by Govinda's mercy. Lord Govinda himself gave the Vedanta Sutra. So in this way, Gaudiya Vaishnavism is very highly favored by the Supreme Lord personally, compared to any other branch of even Vaishnavism. The Supreme Lord personally comes and protects, because it is Radharani's movement. It is Gauranga Mahaprabhu's movement. So Krishna himself is coming and personally protecting the parampara. So the supreme science is thus received through this parampara system. And the saintly king can set up rules and regulations so that the common man can very easily practice devotional service, at least in the path of self-realization, minimum to say with. But the science appears to be lost. When Lord Krishna came again, when Lord Krishna came now 5,000 years ago, the Bhakti Yoga principles defined in the Bhagavad Gita has become distorted. Therefore, Lord has re-established disciplic succession, beginning with Arjuna. Now you may ask the question, where from Arjuna comes? We are only in the disciplic succession. Arjuna is not one of the Acharya. How that is possible? This is also one of the very regular, frequently asked questions. Hmm? Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, no? But Arjuna is not further spreading it. Hmm? So there are two aspects of it. One is that Veda Vyasa, who compiled the Bhagavad Gita, is the Acharya. And he is the literary incarnation who has compiled it, and he is further spreading it in the Acharya Parampara. That is the main point where we have in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, Vyasadeva is one of the primary Acharya, who is a disciple of Narada Muni, and again Guru of Madhvacharya. So in our disciplic succession, Krishna spoke to Brahma, Brahma spoke to Narada, Narada spoke to Vyasa, and then Vyasa spoke to Narada spoke to Vyasa, Vyasa spoke to, of course, Bhagavatam and all spoke to Sukadev Goswami, but overall, the Vyasadev had direct disciple Madhvacharya. And then from Madhvacharya, further Padmanabha Tirtha and the disciplic succession continues. Till then, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, and then Ishwarapuri, Madhavendrapuri, Ishwarapuri, Lord Chaitanya, 6 Goswamis, and then Narottam Das Thakur. Like this we go. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, Narottam Das Thakur, and then Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. In this way, we are having from Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, all of you know, we are keeping in the altar, and we are getting it in the proper disciplic succession. And another place is going to come, the future. Arjuna is really a spiritual master. He has received direct knowledge from Krishna, and you have to wait for it. How Arjuna is going to be our spiritual master. Already he is our spiritual master. Can anybody reveal the truth? Can anybody relate this? How Arjuna received that knowledge from Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, right? He has received what kind of knowledge? The Bhakti Yoga principles, which are defined in Bhagavad Gita. So Lord re-established the disciplic system, beginning with Arjuna, who was the most confidential friend of and a devotee of the Lord. So the Lord clearly told Arjuna that it was because Arjuna was the devotee and a friend. Very beautiful verse. Bhaktosi me saha cheti rahasyam yedaduttamam. You are my bhaktosi me saha cheti. Your bhakta and my saka. So bhakta is devotee, saka is friend. Rahasyam edad uttamam, uttama rahasya. I am telling you the most secret, confidential secret to you because you are my friend and devotee. So one qualification to really understand Bhagavad Gita is to become devotee and friend of Krishna. So it's a very favorably disposed. So this also means that only who follows in the path of understood Bhagavad Gita. So I'm giving you a riddle that you have to solve this riddle, okay? What is the riddle? The disciplic succession beginning with Arjuna. That means there is some teachings which are coming from Arjuna to us. So how it is coming, where it is coming, you think about it. Okay, we'll discuss it later. Okay.
At the present moment, there are many interpreters and translators of this sublime dialogue who care nothing for Lord Krishna or Arjuna. Such interpreters explain the verses of the Bhagavad Gita in their own way and postulate all sorts of rubbish in the name of the Gita. Such interpreters believe neither in Sri Krishna nor in his eternal abode. How then can they explain the Bhagavad Gita? Krishna clearly says that only those who have lost their sense worship the demigods for paltry rewards. Bhagavad Gita 7.20 and 23. Ultimately, he advises that one give up all other ways and modes of worship and fully surrender unto him alone. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Only those who are cleansed of all sinful reactions can have such unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord. Others will continue hovering on the material platform with their paltry ways of worship and thus will be misled from the real path under false impression that all paths lead to the same goal. In this mantra of Sri Isopanisad, the word Sambhavat, by worship of the supreme cause, is very significant. Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, and everything that exists has emanated from him. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.8, the Lord says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. I'm the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Here is a correct description of the Supreme Lord given by the Lord Himself. The words Sarvasya Prabhava indicate that Krishna is the creator of everyone, including Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And because these three principal deities of the material world are created by the Lord is the creator of all that exists in the material and spiritual worlds. In the Atharva Veda, Gopalatapanni Upanishad 1.24, it is similarly said, He who existed before the creation of Brahma and who enlightened Brahma with Vedic knowledge is Lord Shri Krishna. Similarly, the Narayan Upanishad states, Then the Supreme Then the Supreme Person Narayan desired to create all living beings. Thus from Narayan Brahma was born. Narayan created all the Prajapatis. Narayan created Indra. Narayan created the 8 Vasus. Narayan created the 11 Rudras. Narayan created the 12 Adityas. Since Narayan is a plenary manifestation of Lord Krishna, Narayan and Krishna are one and the same. The Narayan Upanishad 4 also states Devaki's son Krishna is the Supreme Lord. The identity of Narayan with the Supreme Cause has also been accepted and confirmed by Sripad Shankaracharya, even though Shankara does not belong to the Vaishnava or personalist cult. The the Atharva Ved Maha Upanishad also states only Narayan existed in the beginning when neither Brahma nor Shiva nor fire nor water nor stars nor sun nor moon existed. Lord does not remain alone but creates as he desires. Krishna himself states in the Moksha Dharma, I created the Prajapatis and the Rudras. They do not have complete.
Oh, sorry, wait.
They do not have complete knowledge of me because they are covered by my illusory energy. It is also stated in the Varaha Puran. Narayan is the supreme personality of Godhead, and from him the four-handed Brahma was manifested, as well as Rudra, who later became omniscient. Thus, all Vedic literature confirms that Narayan or Krishna is the cause of all causes. In the Brahma Samhita 5.1, also it is said that Supreme Lord is Shri Krishna, Govinda, the delighter of every living being and the primeval cause of all causes. The really learned persons know this from evidence given by the great sages and the Vedas, and thus they decide to worship Lord Krishna as all in all. Such person are called Buddha. Can you please scroll? Or really learned because they worship only Krishna. The conviction that Krishna is all in all is established when one hears the transcendental message from the undisturbed Acharya with faith and love. One has fa- one has no faith in or love for Lord Krishna cannot be convinced of this simple truth. Those who are faithless are described in the Bhagavad Gita 9.11 as mudhas, fools or asses. It is said that the mudhas deride the personality of Godhead because they do not have complete knowledge from the undisturbed Acharya. One who is disturbed by the whirlpool of material energy is not qualified to become an Acharya.
Rebol. Okay, just hold on. So here the two words which are mentioned. Yeah, before this, many evidences are given how the Supreme Lord existed before the creation. So there are two people. One is created beings within the universe and the creator who is outside the universe. And what the creator did is he created it. After creating, he entered it. Okay. So in this way, the Supreme Lord existed before creation. The creation is temporary. It gets created, destroyed, again created, again destroyed, again created, again destroyed. The material world is true, but it is temporary, as we discussed. So this material world is created and then destroyed. So there is a pralaya, there is a srishti, sthiti, pralaya sadhana sakti rekha. So we say srishti, sthiti, pralaya. Srishti is creation. Sthiti is it stays for some time. And then pralaya, which is destruction. Again srishti, again sthiti, again pralaya. So there is a creation, there is a sustenance, and there is a destruction. So this happens in a repeated cycle. But the Supreme Lord is outside of this, and he is the cause of the creation, he is the cause of all causes. So there are many scriptures which are quoted that Narayana is the Supreme Lord. He created all the beings, Prajapatis, Indra, everybody is created. So the creator is Krishna. So worshipping Krishna and worshipping Indra, how it can be same? Worshipping Krishna, worshipping Prajapati, how it can be same? Worshipping anybody within the creation of Krishna, how it can be equal to worshipping of Krishna? So Krishna is the primeval cause of Govinda. It's also mentioned. What is the Sarva Karana Karanam? And what is that? Ishvara Paramakrishna Satsidananda Vigraha Anadir Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Anadir Adi Govinda and Sarva Karana Karanam, primeval cause of all causes. So from this we can understand Krishna is certainly not comparable with anybody. So he is the all in all. So we are supposed to worship Krishna, Lord Krishna. And we decide to worship Krishna all in all because from the authority of authorized Acharya Parampara, we receive this knowledge. Evam Parampara Praptam, transcendental knowledge. And then they are called Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. That verse which is quoted. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Everything I only created. Matas sarvam. Everything emanates from me. Matas sarvam pravartate. I am the Lord of everything. Iti matva bhajante mam. One he knows me as the supreme controller, supreme proprietor and Lord of all. Everything comes out of me. He is called Buddha. Buddha bhavas buddhi. The word buddhi comes from this Buddha. A buddhiman, a person who is having buddhi, is called Buddha. Buddha and Muda are opposite words. So here Prabhupada is quoting who is called a Buddha and who is called a Muda. Fools or asses. Sometimes we think, okay, is Prabhupada scolding? No. In Sanskrit itself, it means the same. We saw that how the animals are compared like this. So such persons are called Buddha, the one who knows Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, one who knows Krishna as the proprietor of everything, controller, worshipper, controller, proprietor, and creator of everything. So he is the all in all. Such person is called Buddha or intelligent person, really learnt. But the conviction that Krishna is all in all is established when one hears the transcendental message from undisturbed Acharya with faith and love. So this is very important. How do you need to hear? How do you need to hear from the spiritual master? Two things are essential to hear from. When you will get confirmed, yes, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that is strongly established within the heart, is a methodology of hearing. First, we hear from many places. You should hear from the authority. You should hear from bona fide spiritual master. You should hear from Dhira. Then you will become a Dhira, Acharya. All these are mentioned. But here some speciality is mentioned. How should you hear? With faith and love. First is faith. Adav Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha. So, with faith and then love. One hears, so this is very essential. One who has no faith or in love in Lord Krishna, neither in Krishna nor in Guru, cannot be convinced of the simple truth. So, we have to have this faith and love. So, those who are faithless are described in Bhagavad Gita as Muda or asses. It is said that the Mudas deride the personality of Godhead. So why this love and faith has come here is because Krishna himself is telling that you are my friend and my devotee. That is why I am revealing it to you. So Krishna doesn't reveal to a very sincere person who does tapasya, who does dhyana, who does yoga, who does great austerity, who has lot of knowledge. So he's not revealing. He's not telling I'm revealing because you did lot of tapasya to Arjuna. You are my friend and my devotee, so I am telling you. Very simple. So then comes, okay, that means it includes faith and love. So this is very, very essential. Those who are faithless are described in Bhagavad Gita as Mudas. So this Buddha is the intelligent person or the learned person, really learned person, because they worship Krishna. And the Muda or the person that they deride. Muda deride the personality of Godhead because they do not have the complete knowledge from undisturbed Acharya. They are not listening from Dhira. They may have some Guru, they may have some Acharya, but it's unauthorized. So one who is disturbed by the whirlpool of material energy is not qualified to become an Acharya. It's very important. So now Prabhupada is going to explain to you what is disturbance, Dhira, Adhira. Okay, so the Dhira is undisturbed Acharya, undisturbed Acharya. Very, very simple. The word Dhira is undisturbed Acharya. Okay, fine. Now, who's Adhira? Who is disturbed? So the Arjuna, before he surrendered to Krishna, is in confusion. Sometimes I hear some junior devotee, somebody, quoting from first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Oh, in Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Sri Sujushna Vashneya is said that first or second chapter beginning, they will quote. But that is not the place for quotation because Krishna, Arjuna is confused. He is said to be in this whirlpool of material energy. He is very disturbed person. And then Krishna clarifies all the questions and at last it becomes clear. So whatever is mentioned or spoken by the confused stage Arjuna, even though it is inside Bhagavad Gita, we don't take it as a authoritative statements because those statements are told, spoken by Arjuna where Vepatushta sarire me romaharshasta jayate. Kandivam. This is very confusion. We'll come to Bhagavad Gita very quickly. We'll finish this quickly and we'll go to Bhagavad Gita. We have an elaborate, beautiful study of Bhagavad Gita which we can have. So here, the whirlpool of disturbed person, Adhira. So he was an Adhira, he became Adhira because he listened from Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So here, this aspect. Okay, somebody else can read? Before hearing the Bhagavad Gita, so who is this Adhira, the disturbance, the disturbed person? Who's a disturbed person? Who's an Adhira who cannot be an Acharya? Read it quickly.
So before hearing the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was disturbed by material whirlpool, by his affection for his family, society, and community. Thus, Arjuna wanted to become a philanthropic, non-violent man of the world. But when he became Buddha, by hearing the Vedic knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Person, he changed his decision and become a worshipper of Lord Shri Krishna, who had himself arranged the battle of Kurukshetra. Arjuna worshipped the Lord by fighting with his so-called relatives, and in this way, he became a pure devotee of the Lord. Such accomplishments are possible only when one worships the real Krishna and not some fabricated Krishna, invented by foolish men who are without knowledge of the intricacies of the science of Krishna described in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam.
Just hold on. So this is what I was telling. Before hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was disturbed by the material whirlpool. But do you think he didn't speak? Oh, he became confused. He didn't speak. No, he's speaking so much. Arjuna is speaking so much. The entire Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked questions, one question in 2 chapters, or sometimes one question in 1 chapter. Rest everything Krishna is speaking, full Bhagavad Gita, except for the first and second chapter. First chapter and second chapter, a little bit. Second chapter starting. Before Arjuna surrenders to Krishna, you become my guru and teach me. He was speaking and speaking and speaking so much. What did he speak? He speak about affection for his family, society, community, organic farming, and this protecting the ladies, this, that, so many. Wow, very good things he was speaking. And that is due to his affection to family, society, community, everything. So Arjuna wanted to become a philanthropic, non-violent man of the world. Wow, great. We can clap hands. But Krishna made him Buddhi Yoga. He gave him Buddhi Yoga first. When he became Buddha by hearing Vedic knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, Supreme Person, he changed his decision and became a worshipper of Lord Krishna. And because Krishna arranged the battle of Kurukshetra, he cooperated. Yes, Krishna, you wanted a war? Huh? Okay, war. Let us do. Come, let's war. Arjuna worshipped the Lord. How did Arjuna worship the Lord? By paraphernalia, Dhupati, Deep, Chamar. By fighting, blood, kill. By fighting with the so-called relatives, and in this way become a pure devotee of the Lord. Whatever Lord wills, yes, that's it. Such accomplishments are possible only when, so like even Devaki, you see this you can see extreme, like Hanuman, we can see extremes. When somebody falls in love with the Supreme Lord, he will go to such an extent, that impossible extent. So Arjuna worshipped the Lord. He proved his love by fighting, killing his relatives. Because Krishna willed so. Lord Krishna, he himself arranged for the battle of Kurukshetra. So the Arjuna worshipped the Lord by fighting with the so-called relative. He didn't simply fight, he just killed. And in this way, he became pure devotee of the Lord. Such accomplishments are possible only when one worships real Krishna. Devaki is another beautiful example, Vasudeva and Devaki. Generally, the mothers are very affectionate to the child. And when Devaki was giving birth to a child, immediately Kamsa comes and kills the child. But the Asariri told the 8th child will be Krishna. So if a mother, she loses her child, she will be in such a lamentation, she'll be crying. She won't have any idea of having another child. But Vasudeva and Devaki, they were very eagerly waiting for the Supreme Lord's appearance, that she had continuously babies. Next baby, the killed. Again, she had a pregnancy. She knows that this pregnancy will be disturbed by my brother Kamsa. He will come and kill my child. Knowing very well that she begot the child in the jail. Which mother can do this? And the mother of Supreme Lord, she's qualified to become mother of Supreme Lord. See this. These are all such accomplishments are possible. Because really Krishna is all attractive, and he's such a sweetie pie that one will do anything for him, anything. Tell me, Lord, anything for you. He's the only qualified person for service. Only who capable of reciprocating our affection. Nobody else can understand the extreme limit of our affection. Nobody is worth in this world. Or in this world or outside the world or wherever. Except for Supreme Lord Krishna, who can equally reciprocate, and he can reciprocate more than what you can actually give. So that's worthwhile. that accomplishments are worthwhile. And he is the only worthy person of recipient of that. And not some fabricated Krishna. There are so many duplicate Krishnas, foolish men, without knowledge of the intricacies of science of Krishna described in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So Arjuna just fought it. Okay, so now the time is 10:25. I think we should stop here according to Vedanta Sutra. Yeah, now we have Sambhuta and Asambhuta, the discussion. Sambhuta is worshipping exclusively Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, we'll come back to this day tomorrow or day after Monday. Okay. Now, did anybody got an idea of my puzzle?
I think Mataji, at that point, I may be wrong. I don't know, but I have think so. I mean, so first, Sanjay was listening, was able to, and second, I think Ved Vyas.
No, Arjuna exclusively spoke. There was question answer session and somebody asked question to Arjuna and Arjuna answered, and a beautiful conversation, and Arjuna started preaching. That is when Arjuna came as Ramananda Raya in Lord Chaitanya Leela.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yes.
So there is see the sweet relationship between Arjuna and Krishna, that in Bhagavad Gita, in Chaitanya Krishna's Leela, Arjuna is asking question in the war field and Krishna is answering. Later, the same Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is asking question to Arjuna and Arjuna is answering, because now Krishna wants to understand devotional service. Earlier, Arjuna wanted to understand the Supreme Lord, and so Krishna was explaining about the supremacy, his supremacy in Bhagavad Gita. But when Krishna wants to understand devotion, he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And whom will he inquire? He will inquire a devotee only, no? So he is inquiring, wow, Arjuna, you're my friend, you're so wonderful. Now explain to me. Like that. So when he asks question and Ramananda Raya answers. That is, Chaitanya Leela is very advanced and very beautiful. Guru Maharaj is going to give us an amazing book like Krishna book, which is called Sri Chaitanya Leela. Krishna Chaitanya Leela. Very, very amazing book, and it will not be with slokas. It will be like a story book. Like we read Krishna book, it's only nectar and nectar and nectar. It's very beautiful. So same way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's book is going to come. Guru Maharaj is giving from authentic literatures. Everything is from directly scriptures, but removing that Bengali and Sanskrit portion, he is just giving it as a text book, and it's really beautiful. Already he did the translation. It is in the editing, proofreading, and printing process. All this will take another 1 year or so. Then we will know more and more. And it is more nectarian. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are more nectarian than Krishna's pastimes. The reason being, Krishna's pastimes cannot be related in our everyday life. It is some utopian, it may look like an utopian Goloka Vrindavan, somewhere it is there and it is like that, like that. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu casually came and mixed with all the common people. So in this way, his pastimes are even more nectarian and heart-melting, heart-touching nectarian pastimes. And it is one more thing is also, generally we don't discuss Radha Krishna pastimes. Prabhupada said not to do that. So even though that Madhurya Leela, it's very beautiful, but we are not qualified, so we don't discuss. But the same Radha and Krishna together have come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So discussing his pastime is discussing Radha Madhav's pastime. So it is more tastier. So Radha Krishna pastime is more tastier than Krishna pastime alone. Krishna as hero, he did this, okay, fine. But now with the Karuna, with the Radharani's potency, when he comes, then what he does, how he sings, how he dances, with the internal potency, Supreme Lord, it's more tasty and beautiful. Okay, thank you very much. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, my dear. I was waiting for you.
Actually, there was one statement in was sinless. Then we can have unflinching faith.
Oh,
So,
Abhishek Sinha answered. Yeah. Tell me. Sorry.
yeah, actually, there was one, in line. There was that unless we
No,
are
no.
sinless.
Sorry, I didn't hear properly. Can you repeat?
Yes. There was one line that unless we are sinless, the unflinching faith, means cannot become for Krishna.
Yes. What is the big deal? Yani kani cha papani brahmahatyani kani cha tani tani pranashyanti pratakshina pade pade. Yeah, what is that meaning? Daily you're worshipping Tulasi, or whenever you come across, you go to the temple, you go around Tulsi and pour 3 drops of water. What does that Yani kani cha papani, that sloka meaning? Can you tell if you remember?
Remember, but not, means meaning, I can say.
Mm. What does that meaning? So you go around Tulsi, yeah, yani kani cha papani, kya kind of papa? Whatever kind of papa I have done. Yani kani cha papani, brahma hatyani kani cha. The greatest of all sin is killing a brahmana or a cow. That is the greatest of all sin. So yani kani cha papani, brahma hatyani kani cha, tani tani pranashyanti pradakshina pade pade. Just by doing pradakshina, parikrama of Tulsi Maharani, all the sins are washed away. Simple. In this way, when we come to nectar of devotion, we will see when we are clapping our hands in the kirtan, or while dancing in front of the deity, we are clapping the hands, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, like this. So with the Harinam, with the Harinam, when we are chanting and clapping, all the sins are like birds. The birds are there, sitting in front of you. You clap your hand, they all fly away. Same way, all the sins are flying away, and the lines which are there in our hands, the reka, which tell about our destiny based on our past life sins, they are all getting destroyed, and the lines are getting changed. So, in this way, the devotional service is so powerful. So, Krishna is also telling Sarvadharman Parityacha, Mamekam Sharanam Raja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papepyo Mokshisyami, Master. So unless sin is gone, then you cannot approach Krishna is said one side. Another side it is said Krishna is telling, leave all your religion, all your process, everything and surrender unto me, I'll remove the sin. So when you approach Krishna, the process is little difficult. But when you approach pure devotees and devotional service, the process is very easy. So when you go into perform these devotional service, sweet devotional service of worshipping Tulsi, going around her, or clapping and dancing, so many processes are given. They give prema, and the byproduct is removing the sin. So no need to worry. Once you start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then the prarabdha karma, whatever karma we have done, pava and punya, especially when you're doing initiation, when you're taking, you will be sitting in a yajna where you will throw the black and white grains. The black grains are papa karma, white grains are punya karma. So you are burning all that away. And you are becoming like when you fell down from spiritual world, you never had any karma. You never had papa karma, you never had punya karma. You were an innocent, simple, plain, simple soul. So same way, when we during the initiation yajna, we burn away all that sin and everything. And then we become, so that time only we become sinless. Then Guru is instructing no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. So these are the four pillars of sin. And we don't do it, and then we remain pure. And little contamination we get by doing some, we are walking, some ant may be there, so we may be stamping or whatever. So we do Tulasi Aarti every day. So when we go around Tulasi, then the sins are washed away. So in this way, we become qualified to stay in devotion. Krishna. Don't worry, chant Hari, baby. Is that okay? Did you hear? Oh, my earphone. Akarshak so gaya.
No, yeah, I have said yeah. Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Okay, anybody else? Always only one good student. And Om sometimes asks, all the others are all sleeping in the night 10:30. But what to do? This is the time which we have captured the end of the day. I can keep it early morning, the classes, but your chanting will be disturbed. That is why I'm worried. Otherwise, I can easily keep it morning 6 to 7 or something like that, and 7 o'clock I can relieve you. Prabhu is taking one session, 5:30 to 7 in the morning. Like that, 5:30 to 7. But your entire primary chanting time will be disturbed, which I don't want to do. Better you sleep in my class and call me Mataji. Okay, thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitha